Well, there are many risks of AI, like cyber attacks and loss of jobs and making nasty viruses. But one of the risks is this existential threat that AI will take over. And for that threat, all the countries will collaborate because they're all in the same boat. No country wants AI to take over. Just as the USSR and the Americans collaborated at the height of the Cold War, countries will collaborate on how to prevent AI from taking over from people.
Do you believe human nature won't encourage some leader somewhere to, or some government somewhere to believe that they can control it, whether or not that's actually possible?
Well, we have a nice example in the States of a government that's determined to control it. I don't think that's going to work. It may work against other countries, but when AI becomes smarter than people, that's just not going to work. This whole idea that people need to be dominant and the AI needs to be submissive, that's the kind of tech bro idea that I don't think will work when they're much smarter than us.
Do you really believe? Do you still believe that 10 to 20% chance of AIs wiping out humans is possible?
Oh yes, if we can't figure out a solution to how we can still be around when they're much smarter than us and much more powerful than us, we'll be toast.
What do you think? I mean, it's stunning to me that this technology, I mean, it's already changing things, but the tidal wave of change that we are going to be seeing shortly and are already seeing, that it's being run by people who are not elected. These are people, you know, who are making billions of dollars doing this. Nobody ever really elected them. There's been no consensus agreement that, yes, this is good for humanity. Do you think the average person, and I include myself in that grouping, understands what is about to happen here?
No, I think they don't. And I think it's important for the public to understand it. We need a counter pressure to the tech bros who are saying there should be no regulations on AI. And also we need the countries to understand they need to collaborate on how to avoid the existential threat.
What do you think it does to initiative for, you know, I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. I'm very worried about, you know, what world they're going to have in 10 years when, if there's machines that do everything better than humans do, what's the initiative for people to strive to become good at something?
One thing we know about mothers is mothers genuinely care about their babies, and they do whatever they can to make life interesting for the babies and to make the babies grow and realize their full potential. So if we have super intelligent AI looking after us, we may be able to get the same thing.
Jeffrey Hinton, it's a real pleasure to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeffrey Hinton, often called the godfather of AI, about his fears that technology could potentially wipe out humanity, and his suggestion that somehow installing maternal instincts in generative AI could be the solution. My next guest has spoken extensively about AI for a very long time, its impact, and how tech industry leaders are navigating. Love story. What do you think of this idea of maternal instincts?
Okay, sure. Because
Okay,
tech
sure.
people are really maternal.
Yes,
That's how I
they
think
are.
of Mark Zuckerberg and all the others. You know, it's an idea.
Well, he did have a school, I just read.
Let's not get into that right now.
Okay.
Let's not get into that. But no, I don't think. I think it's really hard to the idea of what is a maternal instinct,
Right.
by the way.
Yeah, and how do you
define it?
instill that?
Right, and why would people that are in a for-profit corporation even think that's important, which they don't. The problem is that our government's not involved in a way that is important. And before, government has been a check on corporate interests, whether it's the railroads or everything.
It is amazing to me that this tsunami of change is breaking and coming and coming ashore. And I mean, I don't think
we're not paying attention.
Yeah.
But China, that's their excuse.
Right.
The
Yes. That is always the argument.
Yeah,
but look, China's breathing down our necks on
I
this.
call it the Xi or me argument, and I wish I had another choice. That's all I have to say. I mean, we can try all we want, but it's in the hands of private corporations that want to make money. Most of it is, and the power is in those hands.
I mean, they're not wrong about that argument of like if enemy nations or more aggressive nations or
Sure. But then it should be in the public interest, and the public should have a say in it, and especially since the public paid for the internet that they make their billion-dollar fortunes on. And so the question is, who controls this? Who gets to decide? It's actually a global issue more than anything else. And many times, you can't just have it be the U.S. It has to be a global, just like nuclear issues are. Whether
right,
it's
anything
energy.
that can destroy the planet.
Correct.
You would
Cloning, anything at all. CRISPR, all that stuff. Genetic engineering. That's a global issue that we all have to.
Is there any movement of? I mean, there is no movement
No,
toward that.
none.
It is an arms race.
No, this is an unregulated industry completely.
When Hinton says, 10 to 20% chance of humans being wiped out, do you?
I don't think anybody knows. Where did he get that number? I don't know. I mean, I think it's called a non-zero chance.
I mean, I think Sam Altman has said like a 2%.
Yeah, it's a non-zero. That's their favorite thing, which is like, how about zero? Zero would be good. Any technology has risk to humanity, doesn't it? I mean,
although, this seems. But
this is a technology that could evolve itself. I mean, many years ago, Elon Musk was the first person really to talk about the dangers, to me at least. And he initially started off in that Terminator idea, the idea that the Terminator wants to kill us and put us all in prisons and use us as energy, or the Matrix idea. He then shifted to the idea that it treats us like a house cat, which I thought was kind of interesting, that it's, like you like your cat, you feed your cat, oops. You forgot to feed your cat.
One step toward a motherly instinct.
That's right. That's a kind of a motherly instinct. And then the last one is that it's like it's building a highway, and we're ants on that highway. And so when we build a highway, do we think of the ant hills there?
Well, it's also this is being built so that it's. I mean, I don't even know what the term agentic exactly means, but it's AI talking to AI.
Yes,
it's AI weapon systems fighting AI weapon systems.
Right, exactly. That could be that. And then there could be drone warfare. They could launch drones. They could do whatever it wanted. And, even if watching, any of the movies, the sci-fi, you have all those scenarios where it sets it off itself because it's the logical thing to do. One of the people, not Jeff Hinton, said to me once, you said AI solved world starvation, what would it do? The first thing it would do was kill half the people, because that solves the world starvation problem, right? That kind of thing, or where they kill them. But you have to put in prompts where, like, okay, don't kill people. Okay, what about, crops, figuring out new and efficient ways to do crops. And so it really matters the human element in everything. The humans have to guide it. As flawed as we are, we have our self-interest, and they don't have our self-interest.
Do you think it is moving as fast as, I mean, I've seen some articles recently, just in the last couple of days, indicating.
Are they in the dolphin state? Are they in the, have they moved from the bird to the dolphin state? That's what they do. I don't think they know. I think they're making it up as they go along. But where it is headed, just like any technology, is inevitable that it will evolve itself. And in this case, they actually don't know. They pretend they do, but they're like, when I was often at these dinner parties early on, they were like, we don't know. I know it sounds
Which is
crazy.
terrifying.
It is, because they don't know what it's doing inside of itself.
If it's mass unemployment, if it's within suddenly a 3-year period, 20% of white-collar jobs are eliminated, or 30%.
Or replaced.
Yeah, with machines.
Right. Well, it's not machines. It's that some of the things we do are easily replaceable, just the way back in the day when we had farms.
Right, but what are the new jobs being created?
That's the question. What are they? Maybe we could ask AI to figure that out, or maybe we say, okay, we want to figure out a way to do it and use, the intelligence could be huge. It could solve cancer and all kinds of things, but it could also create a situation where they don't create solutions, they just create more problems. And certainly our legislators are not on board with any of this and are not being very aggressive. But you could say that about a plethora of issues with our legislators these days. They're held captive by corporations.
Kara Swisher, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. As always, coming up next, more breaking news.